baseball from one of the crowd. Hi everybody, it's Harold Reynolds. Welcome to MLB.
We're here at the second oldest ballpark in the major leagues. It's Wrigley Field here in Chicago, Illinois, as it hosts the second game of this three-game series between two rivals. The Interstate 94 rivalry, the Brewers and the Cubs, and it's next. Jason Hamill starts for Chicago today. He gets the bump. 27 appearances so far this season with a 10-6 record and a 4.15 earned run average through 167 innings pitched. And his first challenge of the ball game, an overcast night here in Chicago, is Jonathan Villar. He stands in hitting just under 310. And the first pitch of the ball game from Hamill is a curveball inside on Villar, and we're underway. The Brewers find themselves with 110 wins on the season, and that is 6 wins short of the 2001 Seattle Mariners, as that pitch is inside 2-0 to Villar. And that 0-1 team, that 0-1 Mariners team won 116 games, and that is the tie for the most wins out of any team in Major League history. 2-1 on Villar as that pitch catches the inside corner. That was a fastball. Here's the 2-1 pitch now to Jonathan Villar as that pitch is lined up the middle for a base hit. And that's how the night gets started for the Brewers offense. Something that Villar's been doing consistently all season long. He's been a staple at that top of the lineup for the Brewers. Doesn't really provide too much power, but he does get on base. And despite that fact, he does have one of the lower batting averages on the team. Dusty Lutz stands in now. He's batting second in this powerful Brewers lineup. Villar with speed at first base. Hamill works from the stretch for the first time, and that pitch is low on a fastball, 1-0. Well, Dusty Lutz coming into tonight's action with a .358 average, 26 home runs, and 90-plus runs batted in. Brewers took the first game of this series 10-2 as that pitch misses high on Lutz. It was 11-3, I'm sorry. I can't get my figures straight. It is 2-0 on Lutz with Villar the runner at first. Hamill works from the stretch and this pitch misses. Actually, no, it catches the outside part of the plate and it's over. Still a good hitter's count, 2-1. The Cubs find themselves with 93 wins coming into the ball game against 58 losses as this pitch is hit in the air to Sterling in center field. Back he goes and he makes the catch on the warning track, and that's the first out of the ball game. Well, the wind here is blowing out slightly. That ball carried a little bit. Sterling ranged back though and made the catch on the warning track. I didn't think that ball was going to travel as far as it did. And as we take a look at that Brewers lineup, Ryan Braun, number 3 hitter, stands in now with 41 home runs and a .346 average to complement that with 129 runs batted in. As I was saying before, the Cubs come in with 93 wins on the season. Pitches in the dirt. And with those 93 wins, that has gotten them the first wild card spot in the National League. So I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams face each other in the playoffs. They did last season, and the Brewers beat them in the championship series to go to the World Series and end up winning it. As the 1-0 pitch is a pitch out. Hamill's worried about the runner at first in Villar. It's a scoreless game here in the top of the first from Wrigley Field. 104th season here at this ballpark as Braun sends one in the air into the gap in between right and center. Sterling ranges over to his left to make the catch. There are now 2 down in the inning. White Daddy's been busy out there for the first 2 outs recorded in this ball game were aligned to him. Chris Carter stands in. He's looking for home run number 80 on the season, and he's the sole leader for most homers in a season. And the first pitch of the at-bat is a pitch out. Still worried about that runner at first in VR. There's the pitch, and VR is off. It's an inside fastball, and the throw from Lucroy is late, and VR reaches safely at second. He leads the team in stolen bases this year. He's always a threat once he gets on, and he had Hamill distracted. He was dancing around at first base. Finally saw his opportunity, and he swiped second. Hamill still working from the stretch, and the pitch to Carter is lined to third. That's to Fernandez, but he picks and fires, and the inning is over. So the Brewers get a base hit on the leadoff single from Jonathan VR, but can't bring anyone across. To the bottom of the first we go. 0-0. Well, the Cubs are going to have a tough task today as they face free Willie Peralta, making start number 30. With a 17-6 record, he can eclipse 200 strikeouts in this performance, and that's something that he's been known for on the mound. His strikeouts. He's got a big fastball, he's got a big off-speed pitch, he's got a big looping slider. Good compliment. Michael Brantley leads off for the Cubs here in the first, and the first pitch from Willie Peralta is high, and it's 1-0. Brantley, a former Brewer prospect at one point. 1-0 pitch is over, and we're back at even. He was dealt to the Indians back in 2008 as part of that CC Sabathia trade, which he had half a season in Milwaukee, as Brantley bunts up the line at third on the fastball. Bryant was playing it well. He picked and charged and recorded the first out. Brantley was out by a step. It's Jason Hayward standing in now, the number 2 hitter, hitting .312 on the season. Second on this Chicago Cubs team in batting average. The Chicago right fielder did struggle back in the 2016 season, hitting the mid-200s. Peralta working from the windup, and the first pitch is a fastball over for a strike, and it's 1-0. It's 0-1 rather. Some days you're just not on as far as commentating. It's 0-1 on Hayward, and the pitch is another fastball, and that one catches the zone as well, and it's 0-2. Little two-seam movement on that pitch. Sign from Bandy, and the 0-2 pitch to Hayward is tapped foul. That was an off-speed pitch. Looked like a changeup. Hayward has spent some time in St. Louis. Came up with the Braves back in 2010 as he hits one in the air. This is going to cross into foul territory behind third, but Bryan is there to make the catch. And there's one gone here in the Cubs half of the first. Or 2 gone, I'm sorry. Jeez, what the fuck's going on here? Anthony Rizzo stands in, hitting .293, and he sends one up the middle, and that's a 2-out single. So the Cubs have their first base runner aboard. Well, the Brewers are playing that big shift on the lefty Rizzo. He hit it where the shortstop would have been had it not been for the big shift. But VR was playing on the second base side of the bag, and he found a hole. As White Daddy Joe Sterling stands in, and the first pitch from Peralta working from the stretch is a strike, and it's 0-1. This bagger has had a solid campaign, hitting .293, 27 bombs, swing and a miss on a fastball, and it's 0-2 quickly. I guess you could say his bugaboo is a strikeout. Sterling has struck out a fair amount this season. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Peralta, and he does it again. Got him swinging on a changeup. He gone, and the inning is over. Well, the Cubs get a base hit on the 2-out single from Rizzo. After 1, we have no score here at Wrigley. Well, here's Craig Ragland standing in. Comes into tonight, boasting a 6-game hitting streak. He's 10 for 19 during that stretch. He did have a pinch hit home run in yesterday's shellacking of this Cubs pitching staff, which has been phenomenal for pretty much the whole season. First pitch is high from Hamill, and it's 1-0 on Ragland. He comes into this ball game just 4 hits shy of 200 on the campaign. As this pitch is lined to center, Sterling ranges back a few steps and makes the catch easily. And there's 1 down here in the Brewers' second. Chris Bryant, the former Cub, stands in. He had himself a heck of a ball game yesterday. He went deep 3 times, and he eclipsed the 50 home run mark on the season, and had 6 runs batted in to go along with it. So he is boasting a hot bat at the plate right now. Comes in with 133 runs batted in on the season up to this point, with about 2 weeks to play. First pitch from Hamill is a fastball just low, and it's 1-0. Well, the wind is fairly stagnant tonight, just a slight breeze blowing out into left field, about 4 or 5 miles an hour as Bryant swings and misses. Cubs doing a little renovating before the season as they pulled the bullpens, which were originally down the left and right field lines, and put them behind the ivy in left and right field. And it is now 3 balls and a strike on Chris Bryant. As a fastball low, and the 3-1 pitch is a fastball high, and Chris walks. So the Brewers have their second base runner of the ball game. Hamill looking a little flustered with himself as Orlando Arcia stands in. He comes in hitting .296, and he's the only, well, he's got the 3rd lowest batting average on the team. First pitch is hit in the air to right. Charging in is Hayward, but it's the second baseman making the catch, and there's going to be 2 down. So Jet Bandy stands in, hitting .307 on the season so far, and he's been a solid acquisition for the Brewers after the trade that sent Wilson Contreras to the Texas Rangers. Bandy looks at a pitch inside, and it's 1-0. Hamill from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch is another one that misses low, and it's 2-0. 25 pitches for Hamill. The 2-0 pitch is hit in the air, down the right field line, but foul. Still a good hitter's count. Bryant the man at first, he walked, and the 2-1 pitch is low and inside, and Bandy with a favorable count. 3-1. Willie Peralta on deck, so don't be surprised if Hamill puts Bandy on here. And he does. The 3-1 pitch misses low. Well, at least for the Brewers, Willie Peralta will not be leading off the 3rd inning. He stands in with a 150 average, no home runs, and a run batted in. Doesn't have much of a bat, but he has 2 runners on with 2 men out, and he can help his own cause as that pitch is inside, catches the strike zone, and it's 0-1. Jonathan Lucroy calling the game for the Cubbies behind home plate. 1-1 on a fastball. It's still strange to see Lucroy in a Cubs uniform. He was traded to Chicago as part of that Chris Bryant, Wilson Contreras deal. Pitch is fouled, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Hamill, and Peralta swings and misses, strands 2 runners, and the inning is over. So the Brewers can't get anything going in their half of the second. To the bottom half, no score here from Wrigley. And here's the former Milwaukee Brewer, the aforementioned Jonathan Lucroy, standing in a tick shy of 300 on the year, facing Willie Peralta, his former teammate, and Luke Crybaby stands in and takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Peralta working quickly to his former mate as Lucroy rolls over a slider to third base. Bryant picked and fired, and that's the first out here in the Chicago half of inning number 2. Here's another Brewer, former Brewer, Jose Miguel Fernandez. He was originally signed as a free agent from Cuba last season. He looks at a fastball outside, 1-0. But there was a logjam of talent in that Brewers infield, and he ended up getting packaged in a deal, sent foul 1-1, that sent him and Lucroy to the Cubs for Chris Bryant and Wilson Contreras. And that is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and it's 1-2. He's been a productive player for the Cubs. A slight downgrade, to say the least, but still a good player. As the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and he's the second out of the inning. Well, Larry Castellano stands in now for the Chicago Cubs. He's been getting a lot of playing time for the injured Addison Russell, who was the normal everyday shortstop, but he's going to be out the rest of the season. He looks at a strike, 0-1. And he's had a decent showcasing. You know, he doesn't have much of a bat, but with the glove, he's made some spectacular plays. He's down in the count 0-2, and he taps one on the ground to third. Bryant picks and fires barehanded and gets him out by a step. Nice play to end the inning. So the Cubs go down in order after 2 from Wrigley. No score. Well, the Cubs are looking to break the curse. It's been 109 years since they've won a World Series, and this team has been good as any of them in franchise history. They are near the top in many offensive and pitching categories in the National League and all of Major League Baseball, but this Brewer team is just too good for them to keep up with. Lineup turns over. Jonathan Villar, the leadoff man, stands in against Jason Hamill, and the pitch is a slider that misses outside, 1-0. It would be exciting to see these two teams clash in the playoffs like they did last year. As Villar breaks his bat and pops it up to short, that's Castellano under it, making the catch for the first out. Well, taking a look at that replay there, and you can see that Villar got jammed on a four-seam fastball at 94 miles an hour and had a little movement on it. I would have considered that a two-seamer, but not according to StatCast. As Dusty Lutz stands in and looks at a strike on a fastball, and it is 0-1. Speaking of 0-1, that's what he is today. He flew out to White Daddy back in the first inning. 0-1 pitch, swung on a miss. That was a nice slider from Hamill. Breaking outside, and it's 0-2. On the young right fielder, Lutz, he's a utility man. He can play in the infield too. As he goes down on 3 pitches, swings and misses at the slider. And there are 2 down here in the Brewers half of the third. Well, Ryan Braun stands in. He's not a favorite down here in Chicago. He always gets a fair amount of boos from the friendly confines. I say that sarcastically. A lot of Cubs fans are big dicks. As the first pitch to Braun, the 33-year-old left fielder. There's a slider in there for a strike. But despite the fact that he has haters, not just in Chicago, through all of baseball, he continues to perform as he sends one in the right field on the ground, just past the glove of Rizzo for a 2-out single. Braun gets on board for the first time today, and Chris Carter stands in. He had an 0 for yesterday. He was 0 for 5 in the ball game. Braun took that fastball that was a couple inches below the strike zone and just went with it and took it in the right field. Carter stands in now and looks at a fastball outside, 1-0. This will be the 40th pitch of the outing for Jason Hamill. As that pitch is fouled off, count back to even at 1. You just can't fathom the power that Carter has produced for this Brewer ball team. As he sends one in the air, this one is shallow into right. That's actually the second baseman camping under it to make the catch to end the inning. So the Brewers can't get a runner across. It's Ian Happ leading off, the second baseman for the Cubs in the third. No score from Wrigley. Here's Ian Happ, the highly touted Cubs prospect, part of the September call-ups this season. He's getting his first start of the year today as he sends the first pitch on the ground to short. That's VR, picks and fires, and there's one down. Well, there is usually not many silver linings for injuries, but in the Cubs' case, with the injury to Addison Russell, we've seen how deep this farm system actually is, with consistent prospects that have been performing at a high level that have been called up throughout the course of the season. Jason Hamill stands in and whiffs at a slider, 0-1. Here's a sign in the 0-1 pitch, and it's a fastball late in, or 0-2. Well, Peralta, if he can get the strikeout here, we'll have 200 on the season. Here's a sign from Bandy, and the 0-2 pitch to Hamill is sent foul down the right field line, and we'll do it again. Hamill not a threat at the plate, and the 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Left field side, make sure everyone's awake down there. Here's the 0-2 pitch again, and there's number 200 on the season. He gone. Jason Hamill strikes out looking. And the lineup turns over for Michael Brantley. He's been near the top of the National League in batting average all season, hitting .337 thus far, as this pitch is drilled deep to right field, and that one would have been gone, but it is foul. 0-1 on Brantley. Here's the windup in the pitch from Peralta as he sends one deep again to right field. Luckily it stays foul as well, and it is 0-2. Brantley with a lot of pop at the top of that lineup and good speed as he sends another one foul down the right field side. He was acquired last season via trade that sent Javi Baez to the Indians, the second baseman, as he lines a foul again, and it's 0-2 once again. Neither guy giving up here. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Peralta one more time as he got him looking at a slider on the inside part of the plate, and the inning is over. So Brantley strikes out after fouling off a couple of tough pitches through 3 here at Wrigley. 0-0. Craig Ragland stands in to lead off the 4th inning for Milwaukee, trying to get something going here against Jason Hamill, who has pitched well tonight. First pitch from Hamill is a fastball for a strike to the powerful Ragland. The switch hitter can hit very effectively from both sides of the plate as he looks at a pitch inside, and it's 1-1. Here's Hamill, ready with the 1-1 pitch, and Ragland sends one on the ground to second. That's Happ there, barely has to move, and makes the play for the first out. Chris Bryant drew a walk in his first at-bat, and he stands in again with a chance to hurt his former ball club. He had nothing but good things to say about the Cubs organization, but when he got traded to Milwaukee, he was thrilled. He looks at a slider for a strike, just catches the corner on the outside. An energetic guy in that clubhouse as he sends one in the air. Not going to carry. This one's medium deep into center field as White Daddy stands under it to make the catch. And that's the second out. So 2 up, 2 down here in the Brewers half of the 4th. And Orlando Arcia stands in, and he's 0 for 1. First pitch Sent in the air to right. Coming in is Hayward, about 6 or 7 steps to make the catch. That pitch hung up there a little too long, and the inning is over. Brewers go down quickly through 3.5 here at Wrigleyville. 0-0. Here's Jason Hayward standing in. He's 0 for 1. He popped out in the first inning. Stands in against Free Willie Peralta, as that one is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Bandy with the sign. The pitch to the powerful Hayward is outside, 1-1. It's nice to see Wrigley Field sell out game in and game out. With both teams deep in playoff contention, the Brewers have had the division locked up for some amount of time. Hayward swings and misses at the fastball, and it's 1-2. There's a sign on the 1-2 pitch, and it's tapped on the ground to first. That's Carter, who fields and steps on the bag, and that's the first out. Anthony Rizzo's 1 for 1. He hit a home run in last night's loss to this Brewers club. Pitches a strike. As you can see, the Brewers are playing the shift on him again. All the defenders brought over to the right side of the field. But Rizzo found a gap back in the first inning. He took a pitch up the middle where the shortstop would have been playing. He looks at a pitch outside, and it's 1-1. Pitch number 38 from Free Willie is sent on the ground to third. Brian picks and fires, and that's out number 2. That was kind of in between short and third, but third baseman Bryant was playing there for the shift. It worked perfectly for the Brewers. They reset their defense to normal positioning to face White Daddy. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and the first pitch from Free Willie is a fastball over the strike zone, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the ground, and that's past the third baseman Bryant into left field for a base hit. Braun picks it up off the wall in left field, down the left field line. So the Cubs have another base runner, trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Sterling did a good job turning on that pitch and hit it just down the third base line. That was almost foul to keep the inning alive. As Jonathan Lou Crybaby stands in now and looks at a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Peralta working from the stretch. This bagger is 0 for 1 in the ball game, as he sends one down the line fair into right field. This is going to bounce off the wall into the corner. Sterling around third. He's going to score easily, and Lucroy is into second with a double, and the Cubs fire the opening salvo in this one. They take a 1-0 advantage. Well, a little late swinging there on that pitch from Lou Crybaby, but he just went with it and took it down the right field line. A lot of speed on that ball. It got to the wall fairly quickly as they get on the board, and here's Jose Miguel Fernandez standing in and taking a strike with the second run of the ball game, standing 180 feet away at second. From the stretch, here's the pitch from Peralta, as this one's lined into left field. This is going to get into the gap down the line for a base hit. Braun picks it up. Lucroy's in the score, and they exchange positions at second base. Another double, back-to-back for the Cubbies offense. It's 2-0 here in the fourth. Left, right, left. Those have been the gaps that the Cubs batters have taken advantage of in the last 3 at-bats. All doubles to give them a 2-0 lead, as Larry Castellano stands in and swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Fairly slow start to this ball game, but the Cubs offense is awake now. 0-1 pitch, swung on a miss, 0-2. Brewer Killers taking advantage of their former team. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Castellano, and that one is a changeup that misses, not even close, 1-2. Peralta was trying to give him the fish at something. Peralta from the stretch. Fires on 1-2, and he got him swinging. He gone on the fastball. Castellano retired and the inning is over, but not before the Cubs get 2 runs. An RBI from Lucroy and an RBI from Miguel Fernandez gives the Cubs a 2-0 lead. Well, we head to the 5th inning now as Jet Bandy stands in, looking to get something going in return for this Brewers offense as he stands in and fouls off the first pitch. 0-1. He drew a walk back in his first appearance. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's hit in the air to right. Hayward coming in a few steps, makes the catch, and there's the first out. So the number 8 hitter is retired in this Brewers lineup as Free Willie Peralta stands in 0-1, and he struck out his last time up. He stood in with 2 men on, but couldn't get anything going, couldn't help his own cause. Looks at a strike on a fastball outside. 0-1. Lineup will turn over for VR next at bat. There's the 0-1 pitch, and it is swung and missed at 0-2. That was a big cut from Willie. Hamill working quickly in the 0-2 pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. Peralta's gone, and there are 2 men down here in the Brewers part of the 5th, with Jonathan VR standing in. He led off this ball game with a base hit, and since then nothing to show for. Good to see a lot of people in the stands here at Wrigley as this one sent in the air deep to center field. Kiss it goodbye. It is gone. VR sends one out, and the Brewers cut the lead in half. It is now 2-1 Chicago. He took that fastball and deposited it into the dead center field bleachers. His 7th home run of the season. That's something that you don't see very often in VR's instance. A home run. But he did it this time. He sent one over the wall into dead center field. Sterling was ranging back on that one, but just ran out of real estate. It is 2-1 Chicago now, since the 2-run home run from VR cut the lead in half. Lutz stands in, and on the first pitch, hits it on the ground to short. Castellano was picking and firing off balance to get the out. But once again, the Brewers cut the lead in half thanks to the solo shot from VR through 4.5. It's 2-1 Chicago. Well, here's the highly touted prospect Ian Happ standing in now for the Cubs. He's 0-1. And looking for his first major league base hit. Stands in and looks at a strike, 0-1. Peralta in his 5th inning of work out there. Get fouled on the left field line. Happ quickly down in the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch and slow. Well, this guy's been in the Cubs farm system for a couple of years now. There's been a lot of hype around this guy, but like the Brewers, it's been a logjam of talent as he sends one foul. 1-2 still. Now finally getting his opportunity to play late in the season and in the playoff race as he sends one foul again back behind home plate. And here he looks in. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Peralta, sent on the ground to short. VR ranging over, makes the play, and there's one down. So Happ still can't record his first major league hit. The 8 hitter is retired, and here's Jason Hamill standing in. Struck out in his last at bat, and he was the 200th casualty recorded by Willie Peralta on the season. Swings and misses 0-1. Working quickly, the pitch is hit in the air to center field, and Raglan hasn't got much action out there tonight. Makes the catch, and there are 2 down. Hamill took that one to medium deep center field. Raglan had to range over. to his right a couple of steps. And for the third time, Michael Brantley stands in. He's been a star on the Chicago offense. A stacked offense as he looks at a strike 0-1. A lot of teams would kill for a player of Michael Brantley's caliber, unless you're the Brewers, of course, since you already have all the talent in the world. It's fouled off 0-2. Peralta working fast out there. The 0-2 pitch is lifted in the air down the left field line, and we'll do it again. Sign from Bandy. I can't even get a fucking word in here. 0-2 pitch is fouled off. We'll do it once more. This is similar to his last at-bat, except this time he's taking it down the left field side. Here's the 0-2. This one's sent in the air to left once again. Braun ranging back. Makes the catch about 4 steps shy of the warning track, and the inning is over. So the Cubs go down in order. They still hold the lead through 5. It is 2-1. Well, it's been a fast pace to this ball game. Ryan Braun stands in to lead off the 6th inning. And Jason Hamill will begin his 6th inning of work on the mound. He's been pitching fast as well. A quick pace to this ball game as Braun stands in and looks at a strike 0-1. Here's a sign and the 0-1 pitch, and Braun waves and misses at a slider in the dirt, and it's quickly 0-2. That pitch wasn't even close, and it was an 83-mile-an-hour fastball.
Journal.
Or I'm sorry, I had an inconvenience in the booth as Braun lines one to third. Miguel Fernandez makes the play, and that's the first out. So, Braun is retired. He's an 0-3 now. Chris Carter stands in, and he's looking for his first hit to help his own cause and to help his team. Looks at a slider inside, and it's 1-0. There's the 1-0 pitch to Carter, and he sends one fair down the line and left for a base hit. Brantley picks it up off the wall. There's going to be a play at second. The relay to Castellano, and he's out. Chris Carter was gunned down at second. He hit one down the line and left. Brantley picked it up and made a nice throw to Castellano. On the relay, got it to Happ at second. He applied the tag, and Carter was met at second base. So Regland stands in, and on the first pitch, crushes one deep to left. Oh, kiss it goodbye. It is gone. Oh, I thought he hit the one yesterday hard. That one's in Milwaukee. He sent that one halfway up the bleachers and left, and the Brewers tie this game at 2. The 48th home run of the season for Craig Ragland, and it's a big one. Coming here in the 6th inning. Well, a little bit late timing on that pitch, but he has enough power to take it to the opposite field, and he did that with authority. So Chris Bryant stands in, trying to hurt his former team as he gulps at a pitch in the dirt, 0-1. Now, there's a lot of Brewer fans in the audience here as well. Half the audience is standing, half the audience is sitting and crying like a bunch of babies, like Cubs fans generally are. This pitch is hit in the air to center field. Back goes Sterling. It's going to be over his head and bounce off the base of the wall. Bryant is into second, and that's going to be another double. And the Brewers have a runner in scoring position, and that would be the go-ahead run. The bats are coming alive here as we progress through this ball game. It's the 48th double of the season for Bryant. Orlando Arcia stands in, and on the first pitch, sends one in the air to right. Hayward coming in, not going to carry far, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Brewers tied this game up thanks to the solo shot from Craig Ragland, A bomb hit halfway up the bleachers. To the bottom half of the sixth we go. It's 2-2 from Wrigleyville. So Jason Hayward is looking to stand in and, in return, damage Willie Peralta's solid start as the first pitch is looked at for a strike to the number 2 hitter Jason Hayward in his 8th major league season. Pitch is low and it's 1-1. Bandy with the sign, and the 1-1 pitch to the aforementioned Hayward is tapped on the ground, first base side. Peralta picks it up, underhands it. Nope, he takes it himself. But Hayward's going to beat it out for an infield single. Well, Hayward rolled over on that pitch to the first base side. Carter went to play at first, so that forced Peralta to come off the mound and try to field it himself, but instead of tossing it to Carter, he tried to step on the bag and it was way too late. Anthony Rizzo stands in with a runner at first, and he looks at a strike and it's 0-1. Hayward with decent speed, getting an extra jump out there, and the 0-1 pitch is lined down the right field side. It's a fastball and it's foul. It's 0-2 from the stretch, and Peralta fires over to first now, keeping Hayward in check with decent speed. Here's the pitch to Rizzo as that one's sent into left field right at Braun on a frozen rope, and Hayward's going to have to retreat back to first, and that will be the first out. White Daddy stands in with an opportunity to damage this Brewers offensive showcasing, sarcastically speaking, with only 2 runs on the board. Runner is off with the pitch. It's a hit and run, and it's sent in the air on the line to center field. Raglan had to range back a couple of steps, but makes the catch for the second out. So White Daddy's retired for the second out, and here comes Jonathan Lucry, baby. He's 1 for 2 with a double, with an RBI and a run scored. Hayward with the extra step at first. Peralta from the stretch, and the first pitch is fouled down the right field side, and it's 0-1 on the 31-year-old Cubs backstop. Played 6 years in Milwaukee. Hayward is off, and the throw from Bandy is late, and he's in there at second with a stolen base. Well, Peralta was thinking about the runner Hayward. He threw over when Rizzo was batting, but Hayward finally found an opportunity to run, and he took advantage of it. It was a kind of a high throw from Bandy, and there was no chance to get the somewhat speedy Hayward. So the runner's going to be at second with 2 down as Lucroy sends one in the air to left center. That's Raglan ranging over to his right to make the catch, and the inning is over. So the Cubs get a base runner, and on the stolen base he moves to second base, and that would be Hayward, but nothing doing. To the 7th we go. It is a 2-2 ball game. Take a look at this dinosaur. They've been playing here since 1914, the second oldest ballpark in the major leagues. It's a rivalry, the Cubs and Brewers. We got a good one going here tonight, as the 25-year-old September call-up Ryan Williams stands in. He's a tall fuck. He's 6'4", and you can tell he's a bagger since he's wearing a number in the 80s. His first challenge is Jet Bandy, the bottom half of the Brewers lineup, in a 2-2 game here in the 7th, as the first pitch from Williams is inside and it's 1-0. No action in the Brewers bullpen yet. Pitch to Bandy is swung and a missed. Well, with September call-ups well underway, these guys get the chance to get some playing time late in the season. It's different for the Brewers as well. They get to see a couple of new faces out there. Bandy hits it foul down the right field line, and the 1-2 pitch is a slider that misses way outside to the backstop, and it's back to even at 2. Williams working quickly out there. The 2-2 pitch is hit on the ground to short. That's Castellano picking and firing, and that's the first out here in the 7th. So Ryan Williams records his first major league out. And it's going to be Daryl Terrell grabbing a bat off the bench. He's going to pinch hit for Willie Peralta. And there's some action in the Brewers bullpen as well, as it's the lefty J.P. Howell and the righty Corey Knebel. It's kind of strange to see the bullpen's actually behind the ivy in the outfield now. Terrell stands in off the bench and looks at a pitch low. Coming into tonight with a .390 average. Another highly touted prospect in this Brewer organization. He's still managing to find some playing time. He very well could be a starter. Some moves might be made in the offseason to make room for him to be an everyday player. He looks at a pitch outside, and it's 2-0. Here's the 8th pitch of the inning from Ryan Williams, and it's hit up the middle, and it actually bounces off of him. And Terrell is going to be safe at first since Rizzo had to come in and field the ball. So the Brewers have a runner at first here with 1 out, and Jonathan Villar standing in. He's 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. And he hit that home run to straight center field in his last at-bat. Williams works from the stretch for the first time, and the pitch is check swinged at by Villar, and no appeal. It's called a strike. He broke the plane. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Villar. It's a curveball missing just outside, and it's back to even at 1. A lot of Jay Galoons in attendance tonight. Runner at first is Terrell, and the 1-1 is a pitch out. Williams thought that the runner might have been off with the pitch. He has decent speed out there at first. It's 2-1. Good hit and run count as he's off. And the throw from Lucroy is high, and Terrell is in there with a stolen base. That's the go-ahead run now at second. It is 3-1 on Villar. Also a good hitter's count, and the pitch is sent up the middle, but Happ backhands it at second and picks and makes a beautiful throw for the second out. Terrell advances to third. I thought that would have snuck by his glove there for a second, but it was a nice play by the rookie, giving a day off. And it's up to Dustin Lutz to try to get the runner across. Here in inning number 7, he is 0 for 3 thus far. First pitch is outside, not even close. It's been a somewhat clean inning for Williams so far, outside of the base hit that careened off of his leg. Here's the 1-0 to Lutz, and the pitch is golfed dead and missed, and we're back to even now at 1-1. Infield at normal depth for the Cubs. 1-1 pitch is sent in the air to right. Hayward ranging over to his right, makes the catch, not going to carry, and the inning is over. The Brewers can't scratch a run across. 7th inning stretch here at this dinosaur. To the bottom half we go. 2-2 here at Wrigleyville. Well, Harry Carey did not sing the 7th inning stretch. That fucker has been dead for the last 19 years. And he's also not witnessing this 2-2 ball game as the lefty J.P. Howell comes on for his 49th appearance. And it's Jose Miguel Fernandez, the former Brewer, standing in. 1 for 2 with a double thus far. First pitch is a strike from the 31-year-old J.P. Howell. Acquired off of waivers from the Dodgers earlier in the season, as this pitch is low. It's a changeup, back to even at 1. He's got a solid repertoire. He only throws 3 pitches, but he can place them well, but not on this pitch as it's sent into right field for a leadoff single. Miguel Fernandez is now 2 for 3 as he sent that off-speed pitch past the second baseman Garcia into right field. The shortstop Larry Castellano stands in. The runner at first is Miguel Fernandez. And the first pitch of the at-bat is a strike, and it's 0-1. This bagger is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That came back in the 4th inning. He's known more for his glove, but he's been getting a lot of playing time this year for the Cubbies. The runner is off, and that hit and run is on as he sends it foul down the left field line, and it's quickly 0-2. Well, if Castellano would have missed at that pitch, I think Fernandez would have been safe. He had a decent lead out there at first as the 0-2 pitch is fouled down the right field line, and we'll do it again. Right-hander Corey Knebel still warm in that Brewers bullpen in case they need to switch arms. 0-2 pitch is lifted in the air to right. Not going to carry. Lutz ranges over and makes the catch, and that's out number 1. Runner at first has to stay. And here's Ian Happ, the switch hitter. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, and this would be a big time to collect his first major league hit as he stands in there against Howell and looks at a strike. Howell really not even paying attention to the runner at all, despite the fact that the hit and run could still be in play. Pitch is over, and it's another strike from Howell, firing darts out there, 0-2. In front of a sellout crowd here at Wrigley as we enter the late stages of this ball game. The 0-2 pitch is a curveball bounced in the dirt. Bandy fires down to second just in case the runner would have been off. He puts the sign down, and the 1-2 pitch to Happ is a sinker that just misses. That was a borderline call there. Could have went either way, but the home plate umpire does not give the pitcher the benefit of the doubt. Count is even at 2. In a 2-2 game here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. It's set in the air to right, or into left rather. That's Braun camping under it. Barely has to move, and that's out number 2. Perfect positioning by Braun as he recorded that out. And look at we have here. Frank Stankiewicz, comes in to try and get something going for this Cubbies offense. Did not get the start. And here's the first pitch with Jose Miguel Fernandez at first. And it's a strike to Stank, and it's 0-1. He's trying to give the Cubs the lead. If he does so, he'll get a couple extra cents out of his bank account. This one's hit in the air right. It's Lutz ranging over to make the catch, and is painlessly retired. 7 complete here from this fucking shithole. To the 8th inning we go. It is 2-2. Well, Jonathan Pettibone stands in now. And this guy got lit up like a Christmas tree in the outing yesterday. He surrendered a 3-run shot to Ragland, and he surrendered a grand slam to Chris Bryant. But despite the fact, he still has a solid ERA of 3.3. Ryan Braun is his first challenge, and Brawny checks his swing at that fastball, and he did not break the plane, and it's 1-0. A drastic difference between last night's game and tonight's, as this pitch is low, 2-0. To the 33-year-old left fielder, long-time Brewer Ryan Braun. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that one's sent in the air deep to left center field. You can kiss it goodbye. It's gone. Go, ball, go. The Brewers take the lead here in the 8th. Thanks to the solo shot from Ryan Braun, it is now 3-2 Milwaukee. On a no-doubter. That pitch was right over the middle, and Pettibone knew he made a mistake as Brawny sends his 42nd long ball over the wall. That one measured 454 feet on our StatCast. As we take a look at the replay here, it was an absolute bomb. 107.4 miles an hour was the exit velocity. And that probably hit some dumb, drunk Cubs fan right in the noggin. Well, now the Brewers are looking pretty good here. It's a slim 1-run lead, but they are now on their way to win their 111th ball game of the season. as Chris Carter stands in, and he sends one over the head of the shortstop Castellano into left for a base hit. He's on board for the first time in the series. He's off to Schneid. And now Craig Ragland stands in. He hit that home run off of Pettibone yesterday. And he also hit a home run tonight. A bomb. It tied the game up at 2. Brewers relying on the long ball tonight. Wind really isn't... It hasn't been too much of a factor. But this team, they can go a yard on you anytime, and they can rack up a lot of runs in a short amount of time as Ragland looks at his slider that misses outside, and it's 1-0. Wrigley faithful, they're still here. In a 3-2 game in the 8th as this pitch is hit on the ground to first. That's Rizzo making the throw to short. That's Castellano covering. Gets the lead runner, but Ragland beats it out at first. And this inning will continue. For Chris Bryant, there's one man out. Ragland golfed at the changeup. But he's aboard. That's going to go as a putout. Bryant stands in now and follows the first pitch off. This fucker hit a grand slam yesterday off of Pettibone. That 0-1 pitch is a mile outside the zone. That's going to be a wild pitch. Lucroy has to pick it up off the backstop. That ball was bouncing around all over the place. And Ragland moves up 90 feet. He's now 180 feet away from scoring the 4th run of the game for the Crew. 1-1 pitch to Bryant is a big cut and a miss. Boy, he was aiming for the bleachers there on that swing. A big uppercut. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the ground to short. That's Castellano making the play for out number 2. Ragland has to stay put. Well, that's a big out. There's a big difference in offensive output between Chris Bryant and Orlando Arcia, who stands in. He has an 0 for thus far, trying to get something going in his 4th at bat as he sends one down the line foul to the right field side. Oh, that one just hit some dumb bitch in the head. She was probably scrolling through Instagram. Here's the 0-1 pitch, tapped foul on the changeup. A good off-speed pitch that fell off the table. And Pettibone is a strike away from getting out of it. Runner at second is Ragland, and the 0-2 pitch is set over the head of Rizzo into right field, and it's also past Hayward. It's going to bounce off the wall. Arcia rounding second on his way to third. The runner scores in Ragland, and the Brewers extend their lead. It is now 4-2. Well, Arcia took that fastball right over the head of Rizzo the other way. Hayward was out of position. He was playing a little bit further in and a little bit further towards center field, and as it rolled right under his glove, Brewers get an extra run out of it, and it's going to be a triple as Jet Bandy stands in now, and he looks at the ball outside. It has not been a good series for this bagger on the mound. He has surrendered a lot of runs for this Cubs team as Bandy lines one foul. Nice catch by that bitch. And it's 1-1. Brewers are a run away from getting 5 runs on the board, and that means you can get 5 flat fucking hamburgers from George Webb's. As this one sent in here to center, Sterling lost it in the lights and drops it, and the runner is going to score. And Arcia and the Brewers extend their lead to 5-2. Bandy moves up to second. I don't know what's going on here with this Cubs defense, but it has been sloppy. As the inning will continue, that's going to go as an unearned run. And Andrew Balsack is going to stand in now and grab a bat and pinch hit. Neil Ramirez and Corey Knebel are both throwing in the bullpen. That's going to go as an E8 on White Daddy. What the fuck is Sterling doing out there? Fuck. Here's the first pitch to Andrew Balsack as it's hit on the ground to third. Miguel Fernandez picks and fires, and the inning is over. Mercy! To the bottom of the 8th we go. And thanks to some sloppy defense, it is now 5-2 Milwaukee. Well, take a look at the Brewers bullpen. That's Neil Ramirez coming in, trying to lock down the hold as he makes his 49th appearance of the campaign, and he's been solid out of the pen. As you take a look at the average versus lefties and righties, for a combined average of about 200. He's recorded a lot of outs on the mound so far this season, and Michael Brantley's the first challenge here in this ball game. Stands in for the 4th time and fouls the pitch away. Ramirez works from the stretch all the time. Former Cub. And the 0-1 pitch is hit in the air. This one's deep to left. Go, ball, go. A no-doubter for Brantley as they cut the lead down to 5-3. Well, this bagger has been killing the Brewers pitching staff all season long. Cubs looking to get a little rally started here in the 8th, just chipping away little by little. He hits his 23rd home run of the season. A lot of production out of that leadoff spot. It's now a 5-3 game. An opposite field shot for the lefty Michael Brantley. Forgot to mention that this game is also brought to you by barhags.com. As Jason Hayward stands in and looks at a strike, 0-1. If you want to meet a raggedy old bitch over the age of 50, just go to barhags.com. 0-1 pitch, look out! That one almost drilled him in the leg, and it's 1-1. Ramirez still works from the stretch like usual. It's 5-3 Brewers here in the 8th. As this pitch is lined to first. Nice defense over there by Carter. He shielded himself, made the play, stepped on the bag, and that is going to be out number 1 as Anthony Rizzo stands in. He's also hurt the crew a lot this season, especially at Miller Park. First pitch is a strike as that bounces off the glove of Bandy towards the Brewers dugout. No pass ball since no one was on base. 0-1 pitch to Rizzo is a curveball, a big looper. Nice Uncle Charlie as it catches the zone, and it's quickly 0-2 on the Cubs star first baseman. It's the meat of the lineup here. They are trying to get something going. Brantley hit the homer as Rizzo lines one foul down the left field line. That one, whoever tried to catch that probably broke their finger. Oof. It's quickly 0-2. Ramirez does it again. Here's the pitch, and it's sent foul. This one's also down the left field side. This is Ramirez's inning to work out of. There's currently nobody on base, trying to lock down the hold as the 0-2 pitch is hit on the ground to Orlando Arcia at second. They played the shift on Rizzo, and that's the second out. And here he is, the big boy, Joe Sterling, standing in. He's 1 for 3. With a single back in the 4th, he's trying to get something going for the Flubs. Here's the first pitch from Ramirez, and that one is over for a strike. And the 23-year-old bagger, White Daddy, is in there. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Like usual, he hacks at them big breaking pitches. Either he deposits them into the bleachers or he golfs at it and misses. 0-2 pitch from Ramirez, and it's a fastball that misses just low. Can't forget to mention that he's wearing the number of the greatest human being of all time, Brett Lorenzo Favre. Here's the 1-2 pitch, as Sterling follows it off and stays alive. 14 pitches so far in the inning. It's 5-3 Milwaukee in the 8th. Sign from Bandy, and the 1-2 pitch is popped up in the air. This is not going to leave the infield. It's Bryant camping under it. It's hit a mile high, but he makes the catch. And the inning is over. What the Cubs do, put a dent in the lead. It's now 5-3 Brewers thanks to the home run from Michael Brantley, a solo shot. Last chance for romance. To the ninth we go. It's 5-3 Crew. Well, Jonathan V. Error stands in. 2 for 4 in the ball game. Lineup turns over for the 5th time. Jonathan Pettibone is still out there for Chicago. As this pitch is hit in the air to left, this one is deep and it's going to bounce off the ivy out there. Picked up by Brantley, and VR's at second with a leadoff double. Well, if you want more Badger Mutual Insurance runs, no better way to get things going than have your leadoff guy send one into the gap for a base hit. The number 2 hitter, the Hall of Famer Dustin Lutz, stands in now. The 6th run of the ball game is 180 feet away. Pettibone stands in, or Pettibone. Ooh, that was on the ground to short there. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I got a message there on the PlayStation, but basically the moral of the story is Lutz grounds out. Ryan Braun stands in. He hit a home run that gave the Brewers the lead back in inning number 7. And since then, they have put 2 extra runs on the board as Neftali Feliz, the Brewers closer, is starting to get loose out in the bullpen. First pitch is high. Shakes him off out of the batter's box. Runner at second is VR. With 1 man down here in the Brewers half the 9th, and this pitch is hit in the air to right. Braun was jammed in that fastball as Hayward camps under it, makes the catch for the 2nd out. Well, it's up to Chris Crackhead Carter now. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Was in a little bit of a cold spell coming into this ball game, but he got off the schneid and has since recorded 2 singles. And he has an insurance run out at second base that would extend the lead to at least 3, as the first pitch misses low, and it's a ball and no strikes on Chris Carter, looking for home run number 80 on the campaign. Pitch from Pettibone way outside, 2-0. Anytime you face this big dude, he has a chance to take you deep. 2-0 pitch is hit on the ground to short. That's Castellano. Has all day to throw. Carter has no speed. Makes the play and the inning is over. The Brewers can't extend their lead despite the fact that they got a runner to second. Last chance for the Cubbies. It's Neftali Feliz time. 5-3 Milwaukee. Well, Jonathan Lucroy fucking Weinbach stands in against Neftali Feliz, looking to lock down his 23rd save of the season. Ramirez recorded the hold back in the 8th. Good way to set up the closer. Here's the first pitch from Feliz to Jonathan Lucroy, and it's a fastball inside, and it's 1-0. Feliz from the stretch. Here's the pitch, and it's sent in the air to left. Braun doesn't have to move much, makes the catch. And the Wrigley faithful are beginning to shut their loud, obnoxious Chicago mouths as Jose Miguel Fernandez stands in. He's 2 for 3. He's had a nice ball game so far, and he's trying to kickstart a rally for the Cubs as he looks at a ball high and outside. A lot of baggers are trying to get into this game. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's a strike. Back to even at 1 to the Cuban prospect, former Brewer, Jose Miguel Fernandez. Here's the sign from Bandy and the pitch from Feliz. It's a slider fisted off the plate, and it's fouled, and it's 1-2. Oh, that pitch had a lot of movement on it. That was tailing in towards the hitter. From the stretch. Here's the 1-2 from Feliz, and it's hit in the air to left. Braun under it again. He's busy out there. Makes the catch, and that's out number 2. So the Cubs, with their backs against the wall, are down to their final out, and it's up to this fucking bagger Larry Castellano, who is hitless in the affair. He's 0 for 3. And the first pitch from Feliz is a fastball outside. That was 98. This guy can hit 100 when he is amped up, and he's amped up now. Ball and no strikes. Cubs down to their final out. It's a 5-3 Brewers lead. Here's the pitch from Castellano, and it's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Feliz ready. The 1-1 pitch. And it's a strike, and it's 1-2. Cubs are down to their final strike tonight. All the baggers are up. They want to see something going here. Tense moments here at Wrigley. Feliz shakes off Bandy, taking his time out there. He's ready. The 1-2 pitch. Ball on the ground to second. Garcia throws, and it's over. And the Brewers win this one 5-3. It was a closely contested ball game. The Brewers end up taking the first 2 games in the series here on the north side of Chicago. They win their 111th game of the season. They are now 5 wins away from tying the 2001 Mariners for the best record in Major League history. Well, it was a pretty exciting game for the most part. You saw a lot of long balls, one from Braun, one from VR, one from Ragland, one from Brantley, and I'm sure someone else hit one, but I'm not sure if I care who did it. Once again, the final score here from Wrigley Field. It is 5-3 Milwaukee. Take a look at the line score for the Brewers, the victorious Brewers. 5 runs on 11 hits, and they played a clean defensive ball game with 0 errors. For the Cubs, 3 runs, 7 hits, and an error. And Jonathan VR is our player of the game. He did not have an error defensively, as he was 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, and a run scored at the plate. Neftali Feliz records his 23rd save. J.P. Howell gets the win out of the bullpen. He improves to 5-5. As Jonathan Pettibag gets the loss, he drops to 5-3 after giving up 2 earned runs. Once again, the final score from the second oldest shithole in the majors. The Brewers win this one 5-3. Good night, and good luck.